Hi, today we're going to learn about adding and subtracting decimals. So your objective is to add, subtract any decimal, and page 15. All right, so first of all, your strategies, you'll need to make sure you line up the decimal points, and then don't forget to add zeros. So those are your two tricks that you're going to use when we're practicing. So let's start with the first one. I write the two numbers, remember, line up my decimal points. So 3.4, 0.15. Now, I'm going to add a 0 where this hole is so that they have the same number of digits. Okay, and now I just add straight in line. So 0 and 5 make 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. My decimal comes straight down, and 3 plus 0 is 3. So 3 and 55/100ths. Okay, same thing now with subtraction. Again, I start by lining up my decimal points. 2.1, 1.29. Again, especially when you're subtracting, do not forget to add a 0 here because you cannot just say that this is 9. So 0. Now you can see you need to borrow. So the 1 will become a 0, and this becomes 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. Now I need to borrow again. 10 minus 2 is 8. The decimal comes straight down. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 81/100ths. All right, go ahead and let's look at the next one. Now we have 12, which is a whole number. So you got to think, well, where is the decimal in the whole number? Well, the decimal's at the end. So you can still do the same tricks. Line up the decimals, add zeros. 12 point, and then here's the decimal on this one. So the 9 would go right in front, and 812 would go here. So now I need to add some zeros. So 1, 2, 3, and I can even add a 0 right here. Okay, so now I just need to add 2, 1, 8, decimal goes straight down, 9, 10, 11, and that's 2. So 21 and 812/1000ths. All right, go ahead and try this one on your own. All right, so again, line up the decimals. I'm going to add 2 zeros, and I'm adding, so 3, 4, 9, put your decimal, 6. All right, subtracting, again, same exact concept, but you need to subtract. Now be careful, because sometimes I see when people have whole numbers, they try to put the 12 like under this 12, or put the 10 under the 51. You cannot change the order when you're subtracting. This is a whole number. 10 is more than 3.51. Think about it in money terms. It's like $10. If you spend $3.51, you need to take that away from the 10. You're going to have money left over. So you can't put the 10 under the 51. Okay? So let's start by putting my 0 and putting my decimal. Remember, the first number should be the one on top when you subtract. 3.51. And now I need to add zeros, so I'm going to put 2 here, and I'm going to put 1 there. Now, be careful when you're subtracting and you have to borrow this many times over, because I see some mistakes. So let me show you what you can do. So you can't borrow from a 0 or this 0, so I have to borrow all the way from this 1. This becomes a 0, and the next digit becomes 10. Now I can borrow from this 10, it becomes a 9, and the next 0 becomes 10. Now I can borrow from this 10, it becomes 9, and the next 0 becomes 10. So I know some of you might have memorized, oh, it just goes 9, 9, 9, 9, and then the last one is a 10. But this is why that happens, okay? Also, sometimes I see people trying to do 9, 8, 7. No, they are all 9s. You're borrowing from the 10, it becomes a 9. You borrow from this 10, it becomes a 9. You borrow from this 10, it becomes a 9, okay? So now we can subtract 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. Bring your decimal straight down. 9 minus 3 is 6. And 0 minus 0 is 0, so we can leave that off. So 6 and 49/100. All right, go ahead and try this one. Okay, again, the first number needs to go on top because that's the one that you're starting with. This is what you're taking away. I need to add zeros, and I'm going to add 2 zeros. Again, make sure you add those zeros because you can't just pretend that this should be a 23. You need to borrow. So the 9 becomes an 8. This 0 becomes 10. I borrow from the 10, it becomes 9. This becomes 10. All right, 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. 8 minus 7 is 1. Put your decimal. 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 and 177 thousandths. All right, and the last one, here's a real world example with money, because money we use in decimal form all the time. So go ahead and name the amount that this is. Name the amount that this is. HD means half dollar. N is for nickel, D for dime, Q for quarter. And label each of those and add them together. Try that on your own. Okay, 50 cents plus 2 quarters, well that's $1. And then a dime, that'd be $1.10. All right, $half is 50 cents. A nickel is 5 cents. A quarter is 25 cents. A dime is 10 cents. So now if I add these, well 50 and 25, that makes 75, 85, 90. So this would be 90 cents. Again, I'm putting them both in dollar form for decimal form. Now I need to add them. 1.10, 0.90, add 0, 9 plus 1 is 10, 2. All right, so you have $2. And where I'm going to put the dollar sign since I'm actually dealing with a real life thing. All right, so there you go. Just make sure you put your decimal, line up your decimal points and add zeros, and then it's just like normal adding and subtracting. See you next time.